Alright, hello everybody. I'm going to show you a little how-to video on how to do this fraction activity. This activity is basically teaching really young students how to determine fraction values and how to determine which fraction is larger than the other. So this kind of gives students like a really good visual to see those fractions. And they're able to kind of create them using blocks or Legos or Duplos. So what you'll need for this game is you'll need blocks or Legos, a pen, pencil, a paper so they can write their value, and then also a dice. And basically the game starts off, all of the students are paired up, and they take turns with their partner on rolling a dice. And they're going to roll the dice twice, and they're going to get a value for the numerator and the denominator. And so you'll want to remind them about that at the beginning of the game. And also I might have it on the board too, just to have something for the students to reference. So the first student would roll the dice, and let's say she rolls it and she gets 1. Well, she'll write down 1 on her piece of paper, and then she'll roll again, and let's say she got 2 for the second value. Now, you will tell the students that the larger number will be in the denominator. So whatever the larger number is, that's going to be on the bottom of their fraction, the denominator. And so that's how they will form their fraction and find out what they have. So this student got 1/2. Now, before the other person rolls, the student will create their fraction. So 1/2, so there's 2 blocks, and one of those we'll use yellow as the numerator. So one of those are yellow, so it's 1/2. Because there's 1 yellow out of the 2. So that's how they would form their fraction. Now the next student rolls. Let's say they got 2 for their first roll, and they would write this on their own paper. 2. And then they rolled it again, and let's say they got 3 this time. Now, they would put 3 in the denominator because that is the larger number. And then they put 2 in the numerator. So then they would go in and they would create their fraction. Well, we're using yellow for the numerator, so we will grab 2 yellows. And out of how many blocks? There are 3, so we'll grab 1 more red because that makes 3 blocks total, and out of those 3, 2 are yellow. So then that student will stack up their fraction right in front of the other students. Then each of the students will look at him and they'll determine which value is the largest, which we can see that the second student has the larger value, which is 2/3. And so the second student will put a point or a tally mark onto their paper in the corner. The students will keep on doing this, going back and forth, taking turns rolling the dice, and they'll talk about each value that they determine and to see which one is the larger fraction. It's a really good hands-on activity. I really like it for the younger kids, especially when learning about the numerator and the denominator, but also just comparing values. It's really nice to give kids a visual and seeing the actual fraction itself. And that is it. That is my little fraction activity lesson. Thank you.